What's happening, people? Welcome back to All You Can Eat Warriors, where we talk all things the Waz. And I'm joined with my co-host Ash. How you doing, my friend Ash?
Good man, all things good over in Australia, bro. How's things back in NZ?
Yeah, it's getting a little bit colder, man.
Ooh,
Yeah, not gonna lie, it's a little bit chillier. A little bit of rain where I am in the Waikato. How's it
mm.
still hot over there, man? In
Yeah,
sunny.
still hot and sweaty, brother. Working in a
Yeah.
shed too all day, it just gets hotter and
Ah,
sweatier.
yeah, no, absolutely. So you had a shower? You all
Oh,
cleaned up?
100%, bro. You had to freshen myself up for this one.
No, no, absolutely. And yeah, guys, we're going to talk a lot of, we're going to try to keep it fresh, some fresh topics coming through that we're going to talk about, especially there's some news about SJ wanting to play in 2025. That's exciting.
Mm,
But a whole other, a host of topics. But if you are here for the first time, please, guys, give us a like and a subscribe. We are on our way to 500 subscribers here at Wilds Up TV. I think we're
yeah.
about 484 at the moment. So there's 16 of you new ones coming in tonight. Please give us a subscribe and a like, and we appreciate all the support.
Beautiful.
But yeah, thank you for everyone that's coming in, making their way in. Look, man, just before we start, NRL over in Vegas, things are starting to heat up, man.
100%.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Getting
Talking
excited.
about talking about Vegas or holiday places, man. Where's your favorite holiday you've ever been to? Holiday
Ooh.
location?
Location, definitely Samoa.
Oh,
My wife being half Samoan, they had a family wedding or whatever going over there. Didn't really get to have too much of a holiday because with the wedding, with the family, you're always doing something.
yeah, yeah.
But such a beautiful place, bro. I'm gonna go back there for a holiday, bro. What's your thoughts? Where do you like to go?
I've been a few places. I suppose I've been to America. I lived a little bit in Vanuatu as well
Ooh,
for a while there. So I love the islands, man. Samoa,
okay.
always got the taro and all the nice
Mm,
manioc and
yup.
all the good
I
food
know.
over there. I
Crystal
really want
blue
to
water.
the blue water, man. Yeah, no, absolutely. I really want to go to Europe at some stage, but
Same, same.
um, would love to be in Vegas this weekend, man. If anything, that would have
Oh,
been that would have been great.
it would
Um,
have been good, man. I'm really excited to see if Vegas will take to rugby league and like see what sort of turnouts we could see at the game and all that sort of stuff, and people that actually want to support the NRL in America. I'm really curious on how it'll go and that, but yeah, it would be great to do a trip over there. A good like week or two. It'd be awesome to go to America. I've never been, never been.
Yeah, man, no, it would be awesome. And it's going for the next 5 years, so who knows? We might get a chance. Shout out to everyone on Instagram.
100%.
Alex Jones saying, "Who plays 14 boys?" Yeah, we're definitely going to be talking about starting 17 throughout the show tonight, Alex. But thank you for coming in, and we'll get to your guys' questions. Look, man, starting off some
Mm.
fresh news. Um, SJ wants to play till 2025.
Phew.
Very, very interesting. Mate, what's your I'll read actually I'll pull this article up. I think it's probably best if we get the right quotes.
Have a read of it, yeah.
But saying here, um, Shaun Johnson has no plans to retire at the end of the upcoming NRL season. Shaun is humbled. He's compared to half Benji. Okay, so yep, he's at 33. I can see myself playing beyond this year, Johnson said. And there's your McDonald's there. With how I'm feeling right now, there's no bit of what I'm doing that makes me wonder why I'm doing this. There are always going to be frustrations with niggles, but the love for the sport, the love for competing, and the feeling that you're working with your teammates is still very much there. Whether I do, I'm not sure, but I definitely see myself continuing. What's your thoughts on that, Ash, as you read those quotes?
Yep. First thought that honestly popped in my head is how much Webby has actually, changed and helped this club. SJ before obviously dealing with injury problems, there was a moment there where honestly we were going to think that we were going to lose SJ to the game, you know what I mean, with injuries and all that. And just Webby must be making him feel so happy, so comfortable at the club. You can see it on the football field too. He's getting into form and it's great to see. And I feel like with the form he's been carrying over last year and in these trials, he in the game last week or whatever in the trial, he looked great in that game. And I could see him going on for a couple more years. You see it with like players like DCE and all that. Yeah, I'm really excited to see him continue it on. I do hope if I'm to put my Warriors cap on, I hope we don't go a little bit too long with SJ. I know a lot of other teams do have that moment where like maybe, some of our younger boys do need a little bit of time in that top position there and really feel like they're wanted to be the next up. But I feel like, we're doing a really good job, obviously, with Metcalf maybe playing 6 this year to start the season. That's still obviously up in the air. But if we keep giving these dogs a bone, it'll be really good to see, SJ finish out the rest of his year as a Warrior. And, yeah, for however many years he wants to stay, if we win a premiership this year, can we go back to back? Let's go.
Well, I like the talk. SJ has always been a kind of a positive guy, and speaks from the heart a lot of the
Yep.
time. That's positives that he's thinking about his body's in good nick, his mental. That those quotes there were all about the
It's the
mental
big
side
thing.
of the game. That
Yep.
he feels like I still want to prove myself. I still love competing. For any of the greats of the game, it's when they lose that drive to compete or the body breaks down. Either of
Yeah.
those two. Once those two hit, then it's usually sayonara. But to
Yep.
hear him say that at this stage, and yeah, he hasn't been through a season, but mentally he thinks that he can go another round. But you are talking now in the realms of Metcalf. The up and coming halves.
Mm.
Metcalf, particularly with a lot of potential.
Yep.
Um, how do you make the best of that situation when he's off contract? At the end of this season,
Yep.
and you kind of want to keep him around, but Sean's saying, "I might go another year." What's your
Yep.
what's your call on that?
I think the biggest thing that we can do for Mets at the moment is obviously still have him in our future plans as much as we can. Give him that 6 jersey. I don't want to say give him that 6 jersey. He still has to earn it. Still has to play amazing footy for us and all that. But I feel like that 6 jersey is definitely going to be a little bit more of a, as I keep saying, like, you got to give a dog a bone. Like, you got to give him something to be like, all right, so they want me for their future. They're giving me a starting spot. They're giving me, the 6 jersey, which is massive, over obviously TMM and Chanel. I hope we don't lose players like Mets to something like this. Obviously, I love SJ. I love SJ just as much as anyone. He's my favorite player. He's the reason why I'm a full-fledged Warriors fan. He's the reason why I watch every game of Warriors football. He's incredible in that. But I would, just want to also say that I don't want to lose I don't want Warriors fans to lose the love for SJ if he stays a little bit too long and we start to see a lot of good talent maybe taken away again, and people are going to start bringing up the whole thing of Warriors talent always gets taken from us. I hope I hope Mets can definitely live with, all right, SJ wants to go one more year. I know I got this jersey, in my
Mm,
grabs. Like, I'm
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Just, got to hang on. Just got to continue to keep the form up and continue to get into that realms of be our next 7 when SJ does leave. Because what do you reckon? If he keeps playing like this, what do you reckon? 2, 3? Like, what are we talking? What do you
Oh,
reckon?
look, I mean, you look at it like, for example, with Jerome Luai, a guy that
Mm.
could have taken a role somewhere else
Yep.
much earlier,
Yep.
decided he wanted to play with Nathan Cleary, and was happy in that role until now, until, this is. So I think if I'm Metcalf, I'm thinking, hey, I'm still young. I haven't even played a full season yet.
Yep.
I've got time here with Sean, his experience. Even in the article, I read more of it. Talks about the game slowed down for him mentally, and that's usually the
The sweet
downfall
spot.
of, yeah, that's a sweet spot. And
Mm.
so if I'm Metcalf, I want to be around Sean even for another year because I'm not ready to take the reins fully,
Yeah.
um, mentally wise, maybe
Yep.
physically, all that. But if I can play another supporting role with Sean, and yeah, we push for a premiership, we have a great run, then yeah, that's when I would maybe look at. But if you look at a Luai, who was more than capable to go to the Tigers early, or St. George, or wherever,
The
but
dogs, yeah.
I suppose that might be the only lure for Metcalf, as he is Australian. He might want to go home, and there might be a job there next to Ben Hunt.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
well, Ben Hunt's still good. Why can't I take that role? And then, so yeah, there's going to be those types of options. But if you want to convince him to stay, you got a future plan for him. Say, hey, 2025 or 2026, you are the man, but we
Hmm.
want you to work under SJ until that time.
But legit, overall, the positive in this is hearing SJ's, as you kept saying before, he's mentally there right now. He is playing amazing footy. If we looked back to 2 years ago, like, would you have ever thought that SJ was going to play a Daily M type year last year and then to double back on the thinking that he can go again this year. Like, a couple of years ago, like so many people thought that he was going to be out the door mid last season. And
Yeah,
he's gone one more year, looked amazing, and could go another year on top of that. So, and forever long, he reckons he can continue it on. But yeah, that's the positive of it. Is SJ is confident. He's coming into the season very confident.
yep.
And hopefully the boys, they all take that and just bring it into the season.
Yeah, and comments here from Instagram, Mia Salilea. He has a point. SJ should be more of a mentor for the up and coming players, but hey, anything can happen. Yeah. And Rewiti is saying one more year would be awesome for Metcalf and TMM. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I think
100%.
there's a lot of transparency. And like you said, people wrote off SJ as quick as 2022.
Yep.
And you got to give credit to the club to trusting in him. And then likewise, we got to trust the club that they'll make the right call together
Yep.
when it's time to hang it up. But
Well,
you,
when hearing this, bro, honestly, the biggest thing I got was it's a feather in Webby's cap. Like what Webby has done to giving him this confidence again is outstanding. Like he's done it throughout this whole club, and that's my honest thought straight away. It's just Webby, well done. You've got him to play this type of footy. You got him in this mental space that a couple of years back he was nowhere near this mental space. Being
yeah,
away from his family and that. So good to see.
yeah, it's great to see, and looking forward to it. Hey, moving on to this talk, and we kind of covered it last on the post match. But RTS at fullback. Now I've got a quote here. Let me bring this up from Webby post match. I think he's decently happy with the boys, but a lot of work ons for him. But it's talking about the the situation with the RTS. So we initially thought, oh man, he's really looking at it. But if
Yep.
we go down a little bit more, it talks about. Um, my apologies. Yeah, he said. Meanwhile, he says here that Tane, although Webster felt Tuivasa-Sheck played well at the back, he's still committed to using the former Dally M win as a centre. He said Tane got a cork. If it wasn't in our game, we'd say play on, but we wanted to get him off so it didn't get worse. Webster said, I was always going to play Roger for the last 20 minutes at fullback, but he played full 40 minutes. He looked good there, but he looked good at centre too. He needs on field, be on the field, and will be at centre if Tane is fit, which he will be. What's your thoughts on that? I suppose naturally as fans we looked into it a little bit, but
Yep.
great to hear that our coach reaffirms what we believe, that he should be at centre.
100%, man. 100%. It's good to see that. Like, that's the best thing about Webby at the moment too. I don't want to keep you know, obviously saying Webby's absolutely amazing, but he is. Like, he's so transparent. He tells you how he feels, what he reckons, and that's the best thing. We aren't left wondering after all this, because there was a little part of me going, is there a possibility RTS plays fullback again and we maybe have to chop and change throughout the season when Chancey comes back and all that? But, it's just good to see that our coach has got a head on him. He wants him to build a combination on that centre and really lock down that spot. He looked amazing in both positions. So either way, RTS in the team means more to me than anything. So if he's at centre or fullback, I'm loving it either way. But obviously, I feel like it's definitely the smartest way to go. Obviously, for him to build a combination there with Monty on that side, and when Chance gets back, he gets that fullback jersey and goes back on to the type of form that he ended with the Pacific Championship last year and our season last year with his ball playing and his work from the back end, his third and fourth tackle runs. Like, people are forgetting that a little bit, like how good Chancey was out back. I don't think he's going to lose a fullback role to Roger. And also, Tane's been amazing for us, and I feel like if giving him this jersey early on will give him more time to get more comfortable, more firm to being a fullback, an NRL fullback, and he's got all the potential in the world too. So it's good to see Webby just, tell us all, listen, guys, don't worry about it too much. Tane will be our fullback for round one if everything goes well. And Sheck is going to hold down and work on his craft at centre, which I think he's going to be absolutely incredible at centre.
Yeah, he is. And it just coming some comments here. Ricky Wiles NZ sign him on unders. I think this is back talking about Metcalf. So we can get sign Sean, maybe that sign Shaun on unders, so we can secure Metcalf. and give him what he wants when he retires in a back office role to make up the difference. Oh, okay, yeah, I see what you mean. back in contract, I love it. And Luke Adams, all our centers are signed off for the next 2 or 3 years. I wonder if any of Ali or Pompey requested a lease with their path currently blocked. I don't think Ali will.
No.
He is maybe content with what's happening right now.
I
And up the wires,
see.
sorry, I'll just finish this one. Up the wires,
Go
that
away.
belief in our young fella, Tane Webby, sees potential and in my eyes can be just as beneficial for the whole team. Yeah, great point. Up the wires there.
100%.
Yeah, sorry,
100%.
wish I
No,
cut
you're
you
right,
off.
bro. I see Bumps as that character that's so laid back. Not more so like I think he's competitive, obviously, and wants to be a part of the team and that. But I feel like he's another like a Bunty character that, if you're gonna give him a role, he's fucking cheering. If you don't have a role for him at the moment and he's a squad player playing cup and that, I think he's cheering there as well. So I don't think Bumps looks like the type of guy that's gonna kick up a stink and go, I want to leave the club. I feel like he could stick solid there. And Ali's come through the club. He's got blood through the
Yeah,
club and all that with his uncle. So I don't
yeah.
see him going anywhere either.
It's kind of like a Tyrone Peachy type thing with
Yeah,
Pompey. Like, you'd be surprised how many games Tyrone Peachy plays. You know what I mean? Like,
100%.
eh, just a guy that can stay physically fit majority of the time will get more time on the field
Hmm.
than the guys that we feel should be there and due to injuries may not. But yeah, there's a point here as well. Jacko's saying there's a valid argument to put RTS at fullback, open a centre spot. That I think that could be a play later down the track. But
Yep.
Shivers, there's so many different looks and combinations that you could see happening. But that's not a far cry, Jacko, right there. Um, yeah, I'm with you, bro. I'm in support of Webster backing in, and converting him pretty much to that center role, and actually trusting in Tane Tuopiki, who I think is a quality NRL fullback in the right system. In
Yeah.
the right system. Would you put him probably a little bit underneath? What's his name's son? Preston's son, Jaden King.
Jaden, he moves so much like Jaden too. Like
Yeah,
every time I see them, I see very similar players there. I would say Jaden is ahead of him 100%
yeah,
right now.
yeah.
But I can't like give Tane a couple of years. Tane has that potential, honestly, like a game breaker and that. I would say that like for his body size, I think Jaden like handles contact maybe a tiny bit better.
Just a bit better.
But
Yeah,
yeah, but Tane's like still young and he's going to grow into his body, man. I think the biggest thing that we got to take out of this conversation too, because I don't want to say like Tane's going to be amazing for a couple of weeks where we're going to get into, but like chances are number one. Like
yeah, absolutely.
I think overall we got to respect Chance's game and say that I know RTS is a Daily M fullback of the year and he's absolutely incredible. But what Chance did last season, he was our heart and soul, and he gave us like a rock sturdy base every game, no matter what. He's going to do his work, and he like the amount of momentum he gets out for the ruck and his third four tackles. I can't see why we can't have him at fullback, do all his work there, and Roger come in and do a couple of bit of runs and all that. Sort of like as everyone keeps bringing up Joey Manu, or you look at Valentine Holmes and players like that elk. So I think that's the best way we can get our team to look absolutely incredible on paper. I feel like if we take Chance out of that side and put RTS at fullback, it looks amazing as well. But I just think like we lose Chance. You know what I mean? Like I can't put Chance at center. I've seen Chance play center. He does it at a decent click, but I don't think he does it as well as what RTS could play as center, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's bang on. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Just coming over here to Instagram. Caleb Pickering, cheer fellas. Do you think Webby will take two hookers? If not, how would we cover hooker if Egan was to go down? Yeah, we'll get into that. I think we're going to go pretty much into our starting 17
Yeah.
right now, Caleb. So let's have a quick look at that. And I suppose now that we've had the preseason to look over, bro, where's your starting seven, starting backs 1 to 7? Where are you at with that?
Yep. So obviously this is all full healthy and all that sort of stuff. Or we're going to talk round
Yeah,
one.
full health.
Full
Yeah,
health, yep. All right, so yeah, Chance at fullback for me. As I just spoke about before, the momentum he builds for the ruck and how sturdy he is out back. Got to have Chancey there. On my wings, I can't replace Dallin and Monty. I think, either way, they're our standout wingers, but we have amazing talent coming up through Cup. I just think that it will take a little bit of time or maybe an injury before we see a couple of those boys there. I think Monty and that have that lockdown after the last season that they had. Absolutely incredible. In the centres, for me, obviously we saw Sheck play on the left side now. So Sheck is my left side centre. Berry is on my right side. So I think Rocco, fully healthy and all that. Rocco was incredible last year. I think he can add on top of that. I love Ali to death, and I think Ali will be incredible for the future as well. I still think that give him a little bit more time in Cup and that, and just see where the team builds throughout the season. I think those boys are going to be incredible for our backline there. And now my 6 and 7, of course, I've got to go Mets and SJ. That's been my thought for pretty much all the way through the season. The only thing that's changed for me is obviously Barry and RTS, which I got wrong pretty early on. So that were my thoughts, my bro. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm the same. Pretty much support everything you've said. I want to go now to first. I say first. Okay, we'll just go one the cover for each position. So fullback cover. Who's your fullback cover?
Tuapiki.
Tuapiki, cool. Left wing cover.
Ooh, left wing cover. If Goss is healthy, Gossy. Yeah, I'll go Ed Cossey.
Yep, cool. Right wing cover.
Either Seta2 or Grand Talfa. I see them both very, very similar. I'll probably give the edge to Talfa at the moment.
Okay.
I like Talfa a lot.
Left center cover.
Left center. I'll go Bomps. Go Bompe. Yep, 100%.
Okay. And right center cover.
My right center would be Ali, 100%. All day.
Okay.
Yep.
5/8 cover.
5'8" for me right now would go Tomato Martin.
Yep.
Yeah.
And halves cover.
Would be Tomato Martin as well. First of all. Then depending on how low we get, I'll go Chanel. But
so would you bump up if SJ goes down? You bump up Metcalf to 7, and
I
then
would
Mighty to 6.
Yeah, because I feel like either way, I think Mets would end up becoming more of the dominant through the middle on that, and Tomato would be playing that second fiddle sort of role.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
I'm with you on all of those. Cossey for me will definitely be left wing.
Yep.
I would like him at right wing too. I know he did a bit of work there.
Yeah.
But Setu too is far out. He's
solid.
Yeah, he's got something about him that I want to see. I want to see a run of games and what it would look like with him as right wing cover.
Yep.
But I'm pretty much the same. I'm happy with Leotoa as a right center cover.
100%.
Got no issue with that actually. And we talked about it, like giving him time if he gets that spot, give him time in that role.
And again, I don't want to dig onto it too much, but as I keep saying to start the season, I know I got Rod wrong and all that, but every time I've seen Ali step up into NRL, it's been on that right wing. That Croker game, the Raiders, it was on that right center. Sorry. In the trials, he came on right center outside of RTS running that sweep play. He was on right center there. And Bompe is, to me, every time I see him, I usually see him play better footy on the left side. So no matter what, if anything lose on the left side, I think Bomps has to take that role.
Yeah. And it's great actually if it's that way constructed. Because you get a fair balance of games.
Yep.
We want to see Leotoa get a shot. We want to see Pompey cover, and that we know he can. So, I think it's a really good balance. I'm the same in the halves. I think CHT sits out at the moment.
Yep.
And I definitely think Tamati is that 6 cover, and then Metcalf up into the 7.
Yeah.
If SJ goes down. Cool, man. Let's do forward pack. Who have you got from 8 to 13?
So my number 8 will be AFB. I don't think there's anyone else really you could put up in that position. AFB has to be there. 9, obviously, we got Wade Egan. I have to have Wado there. 10 is definitely the one still up for debate. I can see multiple different ways, but I think to start the season, we'll go Bunty or 4. I've changed my mind a little bit there. I've always gone a bigger fan of having Barnett and having Ale on the bench, but we'll go to the bench a little bit later. I think if we start with a 4 with the Sharkies, of course, in that. And I thought bust out the first 20 to 30 and take the sting out of the Royce Hunts of the world, Oregon Gafusis, like all these big, strong forwards coming from the Sharkies up front. I think Bunty can do a really good job there. So shout out to Anton. Made me think about a lot for the
Yeah,
offseason.
I think you've been talking to Anton off camera, man.
But
Whispering sweet nothings into your ear.
I think that first trial really, like out of the two, Ale really impressed me, and it's going to be really tough for me to leave him out. But I think Bunty did amazing in that first trial, in my opinion, as well. So I think Bunty starting, and yeah, I'll have Barnett probably coming off the bench. But yeah, again, I can flip on that at a day. I'm happy either way. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a massive Mitch Barnett fan, so I don't care if the team list come out and Mitch Barnett is starting. I'm happy with that, and Bunty off the bench. But as soon as game day starts, I think Bunty plays the first 20 or whatever. I think that's just the way we run anyway.
Okay.
Then edge back rollers, I'm going Jacko forward on my left side, and Curdy Capewell on the right side, and my 13, the captain, the man, Tohu Harris. I think that's the way we go, man.
Cool. Yeah, I'm probably similar, but I will take out Bunty. I think I'll stay with Barnett for now.
Yeah.
I like the look of that. I want to see that pretty much consistently.
Yep.
I know Barnett had missed a chunk of games last year. We didn't get a good run at look at how that added up. But I think if you play Barnett now with Marata coming off the bench, I think it's still quite balanced.
Yeah.
But you have your reasonings. But for me, it's Barnett. Then forward Capewell, and Tohu. Sorry, and yeah, Egan obviously at hooker.
Yeah.
As
I keep saying too, Bella, like, you know, Barnett, for me, I'm happy to have him starting. It's not, this one's not a thing where I sit on and go, Bunty definitely, you know,
but your bench will be interesting now.
Exactly.
And maybe that's where your strong point, when your argument is going to be around the bench, and we'll wait to hear that.
Yep.
Maybe now starting prop, if AFB is out, starting props.
Yep.
Let's just say Bunty stays in, is healthy, but AFB's down. Who's your starter then?
So we got Bunty. Well, we got Barnett. I would have either Barnett as cover for AFB. If we don't have that as cover, to cover all options here, I think Ale is the next cab off the rank coming up through Cup. I can't. It sucks through my starting team list, you know, running through and all that, to leave Ale out because he's had such a good preseason, and I think he's absolutely incredible. That's why I think, like, if you get an argument of Ale sitting on the bench as well with Nick Gorder, I'll agree with you 100% as well. But I think, you know, my cover at the moment would be, you know, for AFB would be Ale and Barnett, depending on who's, you know, around their bench roles and all that sort of stuff. I think Nick Gorder, for me, I still have to keep him on the bench as a impact player, and that's my thoughts, honestly.
Yeah, I would actually agree with that.
Yep.
I think it will be between Barnett and Ali as that starting role.
Yep.
Both can ball play. I mean, Ali hasn't had massive opportunities, but he's got a nice pass at the line. But Barnett definitely has that kind of, can play in that role. Hooker cover for Egan?
Hooker cover. This is not going to coincide with my bench either, but it's Freddie Lussick. He's
Freddie Lussick.
The next cab off the rank.
Yep, same here. Okay, I think we covered that kind of starting rotation of props. Left edge cover.
Left edge cover. If Ford was to go down, I'd see Capewell probably go left and have Nick Gorder on the right side. That's the way I look at it.
That's me. Yep, I'm with you there. Yep. And right side cover for Capewell?
Would straight up be just Nick Gorder and either Tom Ale or whatever, just fill out the bench role.
Okay, cool. Cover for Tohu, for another starting lock.
So this one's tough because I haven't even thought about this one like all the way through. So if I'm running through what my thoughts in the head right now, Dylan Walker would obviously be the obvious option, really running through a lot of people's heads, but I love Dylan Walker coming off the bench's impact through certain time minutes. I don't think Dylan Walker would be awesome to play a good, 60, 80-minute game in that 13 role. I think he's really good for like a 40-minute stint, 50-minute stint through the middle. You're not, if you get what I mean, just a smaller body and all that. I know this is a little bit left field, but I'll drop Mitch Barnett into that 13 role and play him like what he played at the Knights. I know he played edge back row at the Knights, but he also played 13. And then have either Bunty or Ale fill in that spot for sure.
Yeah. I probably do a mixture of that.
Yep.
Walker at 13 is nice too.
100%.
But like you said, in a limited minutes role.
Mm.
And Barnett, yeah, you could either do it either way. Barnett start or Walker start, whatever.
I just feel like if we have Walks start the game, I think we take away from what makes Dylan Walker so special. And like, with him and Jazzy and all that, with their rotations and stuff. If we had Barnett to sit there in the middle, do all the shit work early on, get through his tackles, and he's still got ball playing, does everything's very similar. But then we get that little minute of taking Barnett off or whoever comes off through the middle and put in Dylan Walker for that little stint. I think our leg speed just shoots all the way up.
Yeah.
Where early on in the game, a lot of it is, teams are very, fresh, early hitouts. I don't see Walker doing his best stuff through fresh defense, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you're bang on. But yeah, good to talk those things. Yeah,
100%.
Jacko's saying Laban looked really ready for first grade. He would be my cover for edge player. I think he'll be ready probably next year for me, Jacko, personally. I think just probably the legs, depending on, if he was to be included, I wouldn't get him to play 80. I don't think. I think he needs a bit more time in his legs, but you can see the quality. You can definitely see the quality of the player, that he's a future, definitely edge back rower for us.
I'll back on the top of that with, I think he's NRL ready now, 100%. Like, I think he's around about there to where I can put him in and he could have a decent stint there. I just think that it would be better for his development to get another year in Cup while, we have other players that are more experienced that can fill in that role. We're in this sweet spot now to where we could be playing top 4 footy and stuff like that, where, Laban very early on, this is where you could kind of like really grow as a player or lose the confidence as a player. If he gets in early, gets sort of gun shy or things happen defensively for him, he's going to go back and have a couple of like second thoughts about things. Yeah. Where if you have experienced players to cover that early on, like that's the best thing for us, and have Laban just absolutely murder it in Carp and get this big confidence for him. So when he gets up there, he's ready to go.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no. What I mean by that, I know you're talking cover. Yeah, I mean in terms of if someone goes down and next playing a couple of games, a couple of weeks. Yep. I think in a controlled environment, man, he'd be great to have in there. But like what I think this might work is that you'd have guys like New Cordy on the bench. You'd have guys like Barnett that can cover if anything does go wrong. But you're really good point there. And guys, if you are in the chat for the first time and on the show, please give us a like and subscribe. We're on our way to 500 subscribers, so please help us get there. We're not far off now. We appreciate your guys' support. Bench, now going back to your bench, you've said that Bunty is starting, AFB, Egan, Ford, Capewell, Tohu. What is your bench construction now?
Yep. So my preferred bench, and whether I don't know if Webby's giving a lot of subtle things in preseason as well that I have a feeling that it could go the opposite way. But for me, my preferred would still be Walker, Jazzy, now be Niakore, and would be either a or Barnett. So Barnett would be on the bench, obviously, sort of thing. But as I said, when it comes out to this starting list, I know it sounds so weird, but like I think this is more game plan reliant. On the starting list, I would have like obviously Barnett, but I think Bunty will start the first 20 minutes of the game. If that makes sense. If you're kind of getting where I'm going with that. But like Bunty would be more of a cover on the bench after that 20 minutes to come back on for a couple other stints, where I think Barnett will play more of a advanced role, like not a starting role, but an advanced role, if that makes sense. Plays a lot more longer minutes off the bench. That makes sense.
Okay, I get what you're saying. So when he comes on, he plays pretty much the rest of the game or something like that?
Pretty much. Yeah. I think, Bunty would do a good job there for the first 20 or 30, and maybe after half, maybe another 10 or something like that, or like 10 the game. But the rest of it is just Barnett just through the middle and doing his work.
Yep. Yep. Cool. For me, I'll go Walker at 14. Um, and then I'll go Shivers, New Cordair, um, Ale, those three,
Mm.
and then now this is the big thing: is I don't want Jazz and that to be doing much of the hooker work.
Yep.
Like I want him as a runner, so prioritizing him in that position when I will probably need cover with Egan. I'm gonna go Shivers.
Yes, this is where it's tough.
Far out. That is tough. Who have I said? I said Walker. Oh no, I didn't say Jazz yet.
No,
Walker,
you haven't said
Ale,
Jazzy.
Marata. Do
Mm-hmm.
I go Jazz? Um, but then I don't have much. The other option is CHT, and from Webby's sounds of it, he picked up an injury, but he was gonna play. Now I don't know if that means like he's gonna pick up a bench spot or something, but Webby was keen to get him playing, and he's obviously in that 23, 25 man squad, whatever it
Yeah.
is. So do you put Freddie Lussick on, and do you have that as a rotation? And then if he's okay, like we've done that 3 man bench quite a few times.
Mm.
I don't know, but if it was pure, if I could trust in Egan, Walker, Jazz, Marata, Ale, or
Yeah.
whatever you want, you can have Ale, Marata, Walker, and Bunty if you wanted a massive pack.
Yep.
You know,
I'm sort
so
of with
yeah,
Jacko in the comments here, brother, because I know like it is a tough one. I think just seeing the way our team has run
he'll hold
out
him.
and seeing
Yeah,
on the bench, have a feeling that Lussick will get a 14 role here, and then obviously the rest of it is as what you've said. Would
yep,
I'd probably say Jazzy might be the one to miss out in
yeah. I
my
think that
head.
could be the case too. And I
Yeah.
think, like I've said, they've done 3 man rotations for a long time. And
Yep.
if you're adding in Capewell, actually, that almost takes another rotation out. Do you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Yep.
Because there was usually Marata come off or go into the middle, then what was it Curran come off?
Curran
Yeah.
or Ciro. Yeah.
If you're trusting that Capewell can play 80 and forward, well, then you've earned another interchange. And so I suppose Webby's thinking I can get away with 3 and
Yep.
hold Lussick for the last 20, or do what he did on the weekend we played start second half. I don't know, but yeah,
Exactly. That's what kind of why I had to entail first of all is like my preferred would be like I love Luss, but like I don't think that we lose. I don't think we add enough when we have Luss there to run at that 14 role than what we do if we run one of those other boys at that 14 role. I think Luss's service is a lot better than those boys there, but I don't think it's like world like I
yeah,
think it
okay,
slows
yeah.
if you know what I mean. Like I
Yeah,
feel like,
it
you know,
doesn't
Egan,
warrant to say that he should get that spot over. Yeah, it's not that much quicker than. Yeah, yeah, I
it's
know what you're
not
saying.
like it's not out of this world, if that
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah,
So
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
my whole thing is, yeah, I think that those boys, you know, I gotta have Jazzy and Walker because that duo I want to see this year, and I still believe it's there. And I know a lot of people are questioning Jazzy after the preseason and stuff, but I believe it's there. Like Jazzy has that talent and potential to do that with Walker and have that dynamic duo for the middle, with foot speed and stuff. And Murata was just absolutely incredible last week with through the trials, through the middle, looked incredible there. And then obviously the front rower that fills in there. That's just my thoughts, but I can see Webby after seeing all the team lists and that running with Luss. I can see it.
Yeah, and the other thing is like balancing it out where like, well, if we're talking about a Sirenen role, which I
Mm,
think was the actual number 17, that's CHT all day. Like, oh well, that role suits CHT much better.
yeah,
So that's why I think at some stage we will see that CHT, if all goes well,
yeah.
he will get that spot personally. I think at some stage.
I do like that. I do
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that too.
because that Sirenen role was effective enough, and like we talked about, we just want enough to be better. We know there's a drop off between Egan and the next hooker,
Yeah,
even with Lussick.
yep,
But if you want to just create another bench spot for cover,
yep.
then CHT is your man because you're getting halves play, you're getting your predominant a lot more cover through CHT. But I'm not sure if he'll be ready. Prove me wrong if he is, but I pretty much stay with Lussick.
Yeah,
at the start. Give him some time. Yeah,
yep.
yeah. I think everyone's kind of making good points there, but
100%, 100%.
um,
Yeah, I kind of, it's just all comes back to like I think Egan, out of all our hooker cover, out of everything, no matter who we put in there, no one will continue to do the stuff that Egan does for us at that nine. We just got to have someone in there that can handle maybe bringing Egan off for 20 minutes or so, that can get in there. For most of it, we can just focus on defense. Our attack, I feel like, can still do work if we got RTS and all that, coming out through the middle and that. Um, I just I don't think there's anyone there that's like up to that level to be like you can take over for about 30 to 40 off, Egan
yeah,
and Egan do a nice rotation. I don't see anyone in our squad to do that.
I think DZ on Insta summed it up. He says that's right. Lusick offers nothing that Egan does, where he manipulates the defense. Yeah, yeah. Like there's nothing that you're getting out of Lusick that's like next to Egan's work.
No.
So at some point, I believe CHT will get that spot.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just a matter of when and when Webby thinks it's. So it probably will be, and Jazz could be the one to drop out. It could be Ale, Walker, and Marata, then
Yep.
CHT. But we'll have to wait and see. I mean, injuries obviously will come, but I'd probably stick with far out. If Jazzy hits it right, that speed, that double impact, that speed that we had, man,
Was
that was
brutal.
awesome. It was brutal,
Mm-hmm.
which is a shame we didn't get to see it for a long time. But
Exactly.
um, I think that's a good summary, guys, of what we think of the team.
Yep.
Appreciate everyone's thoughts. We are trying our best to get to them. Yeah, and Caleb saying CHT has X factor and can do multiple positions. Yeah, no, agree with a lot of that, and I think his time will come.
I think like a last like exclamation mark on this too is when we saying all this, we're not saying Lussick isn't good enough to back up of Egan. I think if Egan's injured, this is why Livon did say about the cover of Egan before, and that was why the question was before. If Egan went down, Luss is playing like 60 minutes for us, all that sort of stuff, right? We're talking about in game, the way everything's rolling. If Egan's all fit and healthy, what's our rotation look like? And I just can't see Luss being the guy to take that 20 minutes over anyone
Yeah,
else.
yeah, yeah, and it's like it's a matter of minutes. If I can get
Yeah,
60 minutes of Lussick is better than 30 minutes of Lussick. Should we?
100%.
You know what I mean? Like I'm getting more bang for my buck at him as starting hooker role. Very good, defense in the middle. Quite
Yep,
better defensively in my opinion than Egan in the middle. Stronger,
yep, yep,
bigger chest, controls the player well. So
yep,
if I'm getting 60 minutes of that, that's better than me for 30 minutes impact, where I need ruck manipulation. I need all of those things,
yep.
which Suriname to an extent did a good, decent, like we're talking decent enough job to be able to do that. And
Yeah,
Suriname also gave you, he went to the edges. Remember that try against the Bulldogs? I can't remember what it was.
yep.
He gave you so many options.
He did. Yep,
That
100%.
30 minutes, I want CHT over Lussick for 30 minutes
Yep,
halfway through a game.
yep,
I want
100%.
60 minutes of Lussick from the start of a game, till the 60th minute. That's really
Yep,
what we're saying.
yep.
No, awesome stuff. And okay, guys, we're going to break down first four games, which I think is good just to get our heads around it. We've got Sharks at home, obviously massive game, startup game. Storm away. The next one is Raiders at home. Is it? I think we got two home games. I think that's
Yep.
at Apollo
Raiders at
Projects.
Christchurch, but
Yeah,
it is
yeah,
a home game. Yeah.
yeah. Apollo Projects, and then come back to the crib to play the Knights, which I think is great as well. To
So excited.
for that playoff game from last year. So great,
Mm.
great matchups here. Like good opposition, or potentially top 8 opposition, if from last
Yep.
year at least, or there or thereabouts. What's your read on our start of season, man? Do
Yep.
we? I suppose there's a few ways to look at it. We hit the ground running and we're just destroying teams, or we find our feet. We're probably a little bit of lagging from last year. There's that type of thing.
Yep.
How do you kind of see these games going, and what do you expect out of that start of season?
So I'd say for me, a positive number throughout this first four would be possibly like a 3-1 record. I'd say the only game I'm sitting here and I'm like, this is our our benchmark. This is our measuring stick. Would be the Melbourne Storm game round 2.
Yeah.
Melbourne. We've always had great games against Melbourne, and everyone will always bring up our record against Melbourne. But there's been multiple times against Melbourne too. We've been found out and found out really bad. And I feel like every time we come up against Melbourne, it's our measuring stick for our season. If we get over the top, we'll have a decent performance. This year, I want to see us win this game. That's the biggest thing. But if I'm being realistic here, I can see a 3-1 record being the Sharks. I think we are at the moment in a better position than the Sharkies. Not just going off the preseason. I already have my own things with the Sharkies at the moment that I don't know where they sit in this 8 discussion this year. The Raiders, I think we're definitely worlds ahead of the Raiders at the moment. They don't really have too many halves to go off of. They're still working on who's going to be that 6 coming into round 1. I think we just look a little bit more settled. And the Knights is definitely a team that seems to be the one that's like neck and neck with us from last year. The Knights got a lot of talk. We got a lot of chat. We made top 4. They just didn't make top 4. I think Melbourne Storm pipped them in top 4 and all that as well. So that's another team that I just see us. I think we are in a better position than the Knights. I know a lot of people will disagree with that, being NRL pundits and stuff like that. I believe we're in a better position than the Knights coming into this year. If I'm thinking about players that have left the Knights and the people that we've brought in, you know what I mean? So for me, 3-1 seems realistic. If we lose games against the Storm and I would say the Knights, because I think the Sharkies game we should be able to get over the top of, that would be
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Satisfactory. And obviously, if we go 1 of 3 here, I would be very disappointed. But that's my thoughts on this first 4.
Yeah, and I've said it. I want to beat the Storm away.
Yeah.
So I'm happy if it's 1 and 3, and that one win is against the Storm. I'm happy. I just want to see us win against big teams. I think that's the next proving point for this team is to do the big games. Storm away on a Saturday night at Amy, 9:30 p.m. start. That's prime time. I want to win that game. And if we do, and I think mentally it just does a lot for our team. We need to move past the Storm in a way. We've just been so hung up on that team.
100%.
No doubt if we met them in a prelim, I think there would have been those things around still impacting us. So it's a mental thing that I really want to get over the hump on a lot of these big teams.
Yep.
But I think definitely I think all 4 are possible. The Sharks is a great one to want to dominate and get a solid win at home.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be realistic. Storm away is very difficult.
Yep.
My desire to win it is high, but those things are difficult. But it will give you a massive read on how the team deals with adversity this year.
Yep.
Raiders at home is tricky. I mean, we had Raiders last year. They went to Golden Point. I think the loss of Whiten's massive. There's a few others that they got out there. I haven't really watched much of their squad, but I no doubt. Have you got a big kind of a read on them, where they're at, do you think?
Yeah, so they're very jumbled on a fullback position at the moment. A lot of talk that Rapana will probably be their fullback coming into the season. There's Chevy Stewart, who's a young junior that came through the SG Ball and Cup last year. He looked incredible coming up until the preseason trials and then didn't really stamp his name on that jersey there. The other thing they're worried about is their 6 jersey because Fogarty would be their 7. And their 6 jersey, I would say Ethan Strange looked really good out of the 2, like him or KO Weeks, but there's muddled between the squad. So they got no Corey Horsburgh because of suspension. So they're going to have their new recruit, Morgan Smitty's, most likely be that 13. So there's a lot of chop and changing at the moment. Their backline's still not set either. Who is going to replace on the wing if Rapana goes back inside? There's a lot of chop and changing, if that makes sense. So that's why I think we have it over the top of these guys.
They usually start late as well. The Raiders,
Very much so.
Early season's always not the best for them. But it sounds like you're not settled on positions, whereas we definitely feel more comfortable carrying our team through. The Knights is probably the one. Yeah, that's another definitely winnable game.
100%.
Yeah. Do you think the Knights have dropped off since last year? They lost Dom Young. They've got Price in that now from the UK.
And he's a gun. But I think the biggest thing with the Knights that worries me into the season is definitely their talk around their halves pairing. So Jacko Hastings, I rate highly. I think is incredible. But there's all this chat. Like Cooper Cronk came out in that first trial and said he would rather have Cogger over Hastings in that game. There's been a lot of Knights fans coming into like predicted team lists and all that sort of stuff saying they want Jacko and Cogger or Cogger and Gamble. Like they're still not set who they want to be in that position. And I feel like if there's a little merry-go-round there, they're not going to be as settled as they want to be. There's still an opportunity for their left side second row spot as well. That is a little bit of a merry-go-round as well. You got Dylan Lucas, you got Pierce Paul that came from the UK, who looks great. And then you got that right side wing spot that shouldn't really change the team a lot, but there's still like they're just not as settled as last year, in my opinion. Like, I know last year was the first year they had Jacko and all that sort of stuff, but I just have this feeling that the Knights aren't going to crack on as crazy as they did last year, unless if they go for a late run after Origin time, if KP's ready, fit and firing like they did last year. I think they're just going to take time to really figure things out, and I think we can get them really early here.
Yeah. Definitely all 4 winnable games based off where we're at squad wise, but
Yep.
yeah, I'll go 3-1 for safety.
Yeah.
But that one of those 3 will be the Storm for me.
It's a big one.
If we're talking a big year this year, even with CNK out at this stage, I think there's enough in that squad to be able to go and win away at the Storm. But no, cool. I think where did you finish off? What's your record after that?
Would be for me would be 3-1 if I'm going. Yeah, I'm going
And their
safe.
loss
But
is the
I
Storm
agree.
game?
Yeah, I agree
Okay.
with you completely. That is our measuring stick. I want us to win that game. So 4-0 would be where I'm happy, of course. But that Melbourne Storm game is the one that I want to see us get over the top of before saying that we are going to go there and beat the Melbourne Storm.
Okay. Yeah, and guys, if you are in here, please give us a like and subscribe. We are grateful to have you guys with us here on Wires Up TV and on IG. Look, we're going to do a new topic here. Something I thought would be interesting: overs or unders, and we're going to go predict this season for our players and our team what we think. I'm going to just throw these quick fire at Ash.
Beautiful.
I've pulled up a few stats from last season, and I just want to see what he reckons if it will go over or under that number this season. So we'll start off with Dallin's try scoring. 24 tries last season. Do you think he goes over or unders on that?
Give him credit. I'm going overs.
You going over?
I'm going overs. I'm going overs, bro. I think that side settled a little bit. Kate Wells in there now. I think, SJ, another season there. I just think him, Barry, and that combination is going to be fire this year. And Dallin's going to play a lot more games. Fingers crossed. So, overs, bro. Overs.
What, 25?
I'm going 26, 27s. I'm going up those ranges, bro.
Oh, my goodness, man.
If we're going off what he did last year with such a small sample size, 18 games, I think, was it last year? Something like that. And 24, he's there.
How many intercept tries? What's
Ooh. How many times do we play the Broncos?
You think Reese is going to give a forward pass and he's going to throw
Reese,
a Hail Mary and
just keep rolling.
He needs to stand back about 10 meters back. So he gets the ball from the ball.
Bro, give me 4-5s, bro. Give me 4-5s. I can see them
4-5?
fullbacks
Wow.
and those halves getting a little bit toey around that side.
Okay, my man. AFB 4,400 run meters.
Ooh.
What do you think? Do you think he has a monster running year this year?
This one's tough. This one's tough because I feel like there's going to be other players to step up and for him to take a little bit of a lesser role. I don't think he's going to have to do as much work as what he did last year. So I'm going to go as tough because he's so quality.
Yep.
I'm going to go unders, but I could be completely wrong there, and I'm happy to be wrong. But from my eyes, I think other guys will step up and take a little bit of the food there.
Okay. SJ, 29 try assists.
I love this. Love this. I'm going to go overs. I'm going to go overs. Only for that 30. I want him that 30 mark. And I think he can. And I'm pretty sure he's done it before previously. So I think he can, for sure.
Okay. SJ, 13,000 kick meters.
Ooh, now Metz looks like he's got a kicking game under him again. I'm I'm gonna go unders. I
Yeah.
still think he's gonna have a massive season with the boot. And judging by our cup stats and how Webby structures everything like that, our halves kick a lot. But I think Metz will take a little bit of the kicking game off him as well.
Okay. So this is a team stat. Line break assists. We had 117. What do you think about that?
Going overs.
Yep.
Going overs. With what Sheck looks like he can produce on that side, in that centre role for like tip-ons and stuff like that, I'm going overs.
Okay. Line breaks 146. I think it'll be more line breaks this year.
Yeah, 100%. Overs.
Okay.
Overs. We're watching Wade Egan with RTS, with Monty, with Dallin, with bro. Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Points differential 120 plus 124.
I think we let that go a lot towards the end of the year because there was a good stint in the year we were top 2 or something like that
Actually, a
in
good point.
defense.
So I
And I
suppose it's
remember,
how you view the season will pan out in many
yeah,
ways.
yeah, I think we score a lot more points this year, and I
Okay.
think we can hold our defensive rating around those top 3 marks. So I'm gonna go overs. Yeah, I think
Okay.
we're gonna go better than what
Go
we did
better than
last
what
year
we
with
did.
that.
Sweet,
Yeah,
sweet. Okay. 16 wins.
overs.
Oh, where you going?
I'll go 18.
18. Sheesh, that puts you
I reckon we can
right
get
in
another
there.
2. I reckon we can get up there 100%.
Okay, okay, I like that. And because what did we have there last year? We had
Losses against the Rabbitohs, the
yeah,
Roosters. Like I think we can get over at least one of those two. Melbourne's definitely one that we all want to see it. And obviously we didn't win against the Broncos or the Panthers.
yeah.
So I think
So
last year.
yeah, Broncos and Panthers got 18, which I think, man, that's a great marker.
Yep.
That's like 42 points. Yeah, we ended up on 38, but we could have beaten the Dolphins so we could have been on 17. So
Mm.
18 doesn't feel like a far stretch if we're going to be, really focusing on winning some big games. So yeah,
I do also want like I could be well off that because I reckon the competition will be closer this year. But I'm gonna go confident. I think the boys can nab a couple more wins than what we did last year.
yeah, I think 18 isn't a stretch from what we potentially can see from this team.
Yeah.
CNK 188 average run meters.
188.
That's massive, man.
Ooh,
That's massive run meters.
that's massive. I might sway the unders only to the work of what Sheck might be taking off him,
Yep.
especially coming out of the back end. I think Sheck will go in through like the second tackle hit ups and stuff like that. Maybe third tackle and take a little bit away from Chance there. But I think Chance will be around about that 160 up to around those still.
Yeah, yeah. I think it probably like it shaves off maybe 20, 30
Yeah.
for sure. Okay, man. Berry 3 tries, 75 average run meters.
Okay. 3 tries. He'll overs on the tries.
Average on the tries? Okay.
Because he's probably going to have a lot more of a settled season. Injury is the only thing that hampers him there. Run meters on average is 75, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to say around that mark, man. Like I'll give you I'll give you unders there. I think that
Wow.
a lot more will be pushed to our right side in attack as our left side in attack as well. Being Shekker's back.
Interesting. Yeah, that's one to watch out because I think a lot of fans have issue with Berry's, runs out of yardage, that type of thing.
Yep.
So it will be interesting to see his workload. Um, we're not saying that he needs to have massive run meters. Doesn't really mean much in terms of. But yeah, okay, I'm with you. So, but you're saying tries, he'll get over 3 tries.
Yeah, yeah, because I kind of envision that same right side to be strong, but more so like him hitting those lines. I think SJ will give him a couple more than what he did last year,
Okay.
and more of like the run meters. I think he'll be more so just a tip on to Dal as well. So maybe it coincides with each other. I don't know,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's what I'm thinking, man.
Okay. Montoya 11 tries, 68% tackle efficiency.
Oh, was he that low in tackle
Yeah, man.
efficiency?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh no, I didn't notice that. All right, so I think his tackle efficiency goes up next to Rog. I think he looks so much more sturdier next to Rog.
Yeah.
So that goes up. And what was the other one, bro? The tackle breaks?
11 tries.
11 tries. That's a good tally, especially for our right side being strong side last year. I will go. I'll go overs. I'll go
Yeah.
overs. I reckon he can get probably about 13, 14. I won't say two massive overs, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I think he gets around 15
Yeah.
maxed out
Yeah, that's
15,
possible.
which would be great.
100%.
That'd be great for that side. Okay, man. Metcalf, 6 tries, 3 try assists.
Well, yeah. I think overs on both.
And that was, he only played, 12 or 13 games. So
Yep.
we're assuming that he'll be healthy.
Yep. Assuming that he's healthy, fit, and firing, brother, I reckon that combination will just grow and grow. And as I keep envisioning in my head, and I hope it doesn't not happen, I think that more line breaks this season will end up seeing more tries off support play. And I see Mets being the first man there every time, other than Roger.
I would love to see probably 10 in each of those categories, like 10 tries. 10 tries might be a bit. No, it could happen. And 10 try assists. I mean, Shaun's 30 try assists is pretty. Compare that to that. It's like, man, Shaun was having a massive season.
Yeah, maybe I thought that because maybe our attack will be a lot more balanced this year, as I kind of keep saying it. You know what I mean? But I'm just gonna back Shawnee in, brother.
Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah, I would like him to get in at 10 try assists. I think is a great goal for Metcalf. That would be RTS. Okay, now I pulled some stats from his Dally M season.
Good year.
and it's probably not comparable for fullback, but just in general,
May as well.
he had. Does he get over 8 try assists? Shiz, that's gonna be tough.
8 try assists.
And 178 average run meters.
Okay, so I'm gonna go unders on the run meters already, but I won't. I don't think he's gonna take a massive hit on that. I think around the 100 mark will be fucking like for a center. 100's like a well above
it's
mark.
pretty good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For the try assists, see a lot of fullback. He's in a lot of good positions to lay on try assists, but in center, you are the last man. The touch on one. So I'd say roundabouts there. So I'm going to give him the overs there, just to give him a little bit of confidence this season. If you're watching out there, Rog, get a couple of overs there. But I know your run meters will go down because fullback he's covering so much ground, and that's what I'm thinking.
Okay, Walker. I don't really look at his stats, but I'm just interesting one. 24 matches played. Do you think he'll have another healthy season?
I love that, especially my worry on Walker when we first signed him was I don't know if he'll be on the field as much as what we want him to be. I reckon he'll go through another proper season. He looked fit and firing in that multi game, so I'm definitely going to hold on to that.
Okay, cool. Ford, 90% tackle efficiency, 103 average run meters.
Okay, so Jacko for the tackle efficiency, I'm going to go overs, but I don't think it'll be a crazy jump because I think a lot of what Jacko, where he misses some things and that is because he does work very, very hard. So I'll probably say about 92%. I want to see that like a gradual growth. And the run meters, what was his run meters again, brother?
103.
103. I'm going to go unders. I don't think he'll be as much of a first thought. There was a lot of times we were hitting him short in that trial too, which is like, but I do think that the biggest thing for him is Rogers on the outside of him, and I think the boys are going to try and give Rogers as much as they can.
Hey, my man, Jose, thanks for coming in, bro. Good to see you. Welcome in. Okay, Marata, 3 tries, 6 line breaks.
Ooh. If we're thinking from the bench and that, I actually think his try tally can definitely grow because he didn't play, how many games did he play last year? It wasn't as many as we want. We had a couple of suspensions in there.
Yeah, a few suspensions. I think he played around maybe 16, 17, maybe. Don't quote me on that, but...
Yeah, I'm going to up his try tally, so overs, and his line breaks. Through the middle, it'd be very, very tough. He's got good footwork from the middle too,
He already had 1 line break.
Yeah.
At the and a try. So
I'll go overs.
Okay.
I'll
Yeah,
go
yeah,
overs. Yeah, you sold me. You sold me.
yeah. Okay, cool. Barnett, 136 average run meters.
Hmm. I think he goes just overs.
Okay.
Just.
Yep.
Just. I'd say probably about the 140 mark.
Egan, 5 try assists,
Hmm.
51 run meters.
51 run meters, and he gets out of half quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm thinking he might have an uptick if he has a good season.
Yeah, if
Like
he
not a
stays.
massive, not like a Harry Grant level, but um, 5 try assists. I can see him definitely laying on more.
I very much agree. I think more games under his belt. If he's healthy, ready to go, we'll go overs. Give him wonders. So both overs on that.
Yep. And the last one I got here is Tohu, 93% tackle efficiency, 139 average run meters.
Ah, man. Tohu's a freak. Tohu's just a freak. I'm going to say I don't think he's going to go crazy overs or unders, really, if that makes sense. I'll probably go. I'm going to go unders on the run meters this year.
Yep.
I hope that we taper him off a little bit. But the tackle efficiency stays around where I want him to be. So I'm going to go overs on the tackle efficiency because I feel like he's going to do a little bit less work, hopefully, this year, especially with
True,
our
true.
bench look. But yeah, I'm going to go, yeah, as I said.
Yeah, and guys, tackle efficiency, like if you go up 1%, it's like almost 50 better tackles. Like it's massive
Yep.
chunks of numbers. So
It's huge.
93% tackle efficiency is pretty good for the volume that you're doing.
100%.
So yeah, no, okay, man. Thank you for that, man. Hope everyone enjoyed
Woo!
that little putting Ash under the pump there.
Did you
We
write
did
those
pretty good.
down too, bro? I'd love to know.
I'll just come back and watch this for after the season falls apart.
100%.
We cursed the team. We blooming cursed them if it happens.
Don't blame me, man.
Don't
I
blame
swear.
her.
4-1 to start the season. 4-0.
4-0, mate. Come back and watch this, guys. Timestamped it up.
Love that.
No,
Receipts.
okay, man. That wraps up, guys. The Warriors. We're just going to quickly go to a bit of Viva Las Vegas. In the great words of Elvis Presley. But yeah, I think we covered the Wars for at least another week. But
100%.
man, let's go into this quickly. The Las Vegas Broncos. In the words of Gus School, Bronco versus Rooster, Rabbit versus Seagull. You know how he doesn't say the full name? He just like goes.
Bro.
He's so
He
crap
paints
on
a
that
picture
thing.
with words, that man, doesn't he? He's on a different level, that guy. Oh, Gus. Was it my biggest love of Gus? I'm pretty sure there was one time, and I don't want to misquote it too much, but go look it up, whatever. I'm pretty sure he's like, the way to beat the Melbourne Storm is to score points. And it's like, you can't argue with that.
That sounds like
you
a
know what
Rock
I
and
mean?
Roach run. Yeah.
Oh, bro. Don't get me started.
The Warriors score more points today than the Seagulls. They will win the game. Yeah.
Oh, bro. He just has this like
those guys.
roll of like things to say, and he just
Yeah,
ticks them
yeah.
all off. That's honestly it.
But maybe just backtrack a little bit. I mean, the big thing about the whole Vegas thing is the growing the game, the expansion. I mean, they've done some pretty nice things
Yep.
in terms of like promoting the game. I mean, they're getting on talk shows, NFL shows, ESPN stuff like that. Do you
Yeah.
think and first of all, do you agree with the whole idea of trying to expand into America and obviously that whole thing?
I see the positives in it. I don't think the Americans will jump on our sport like straight away and be like, this is absolutely incredible. Like, I think there will be people coming away and go, this is a great sport. I just don't know how accessible it is for them to continue to watch it consistently over there and all that. But I think obviously in the next 5 years, hopefully we grow over there. So they open up streams of like, where they can watch it more consistently and that. I think the biggest thing for me that I can see the positive in is there is a lot of investors and millionaires in obviously the US that want to invest in things, and just judging off other sports that I absolutely adore, like I love the Premier League and all that, the amount of American investors that are all jumping onto the Premier League clubs and stuff like that. Not saying that we have as big of a like profit turn or anything like that in the NRL, but I still think that there's a market there for a lot of big millionaires and stuff like that, or billionaires, to jump on the NRL and fund a couple of these teams. So I can see it being a way of like, this is what we've got. Come check out the teams, and we'll probably see a lot more of US investors into the sport.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it's a good endeavor. Obviously, a lot of money being pumped in it. I mean, it is pretty cool seeing.
100%.
I like the Russell Crowe explanation of the game; is actually quite good.
Yeah.
You just want to see it. I heard they've got good ticket sales. Yeah, I'm pretty I'm pretty keen to just watch the game. I'm a big NFL fan, so it'd be interesting to see how it's played in like Allegiant Stadium, which is world class stadium.
100%.
But no, just looking forward, and I think exactly. I'm with you. Like, let's not get our hopes up. Like, they're not going to go, "Whoa, what? Where did I never heard of this game before, man!" Like, wow.
They still think it's called rugby.
Yeah, they still
That's
think
what
it's
I
rugby.
mean.
Yeah, so but I think the idea of it is like just more exposure, and ultimately, I think it'd be great for the game. Yeah, and I think for whatever their plan is, I hope it goes well. But just
Yeah.
excited for it. Something different too. Like not the typical NRL start of the season. Gives your game a bit more prestige. And
Yep.
like if you're being honest, I mean, if you look at the Premier League, like a lot of their fan base comes from the US.
Mm-hmm.
Massive following over there.
Yep.
So if you can attract some of that, sports following, even like I know Volandis was saying a percentage of it, man. You want that little percentage that's going to do a lot to your overall, following of the game. So yeah,
100%,
it's
man. A
just
little bit will really help, and yeah. I honestly, my biggest view on it is like for investors. I think this is more of a show just for these investors, or like a lot of like ex NFL players are buying like Premier League clubs or shares of Premier League clubs. I'm pretty
yeah,
sure like Tom Brady has a share in Birmingham. Like JJ Watt has a share in Burnley. Like there's this could happen to be like someone's like wants to put money into the Warriors. You know what I mean? Like it'd be really interesting to see how that turns out. In my opinion, more so than see like millions of Americans go, this rugby game is amazing. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's rugby league, brother. Like fall in love with rugby league for what
yeah.
it is.
Wow, the lineouts are amazing.
Yeah, bro.
Like come on,
Oh, the rugby
man.
scrum that is like, man, it's not like the rugby scrum, And I'm like,
Yeah,
bruh,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
I don't know.
Um, no, cool, man. Okay, let's talk about these games. Bronco versus Rooster,
Mm-hmm.
and Rabbit versus Eagle. Start with Bronco versus Rooster.
Beautiful.
Team list has come out. What do we got here? Um, to Disco. What? Oh man, this looks like going to be a good game. This one here.
Yeah. Yep.
Let me pull this up. Um, yeah, it looks a pretty good one. Okay, screen share.
For me, like as a general rugby league fan, like I'm I'm really curious because like before this, like there's a lot of talking points with this Roosters squad. Obviously, there's no Dom Young, but if Dom Young wasn't there, if Dong Young,
Dong
fuck, I
Yang,
can't talk. Yeah, Dom
fly
Young,
lie.
brother.
You want fly
Hey, don't
lie?
twist it, no way.
You
Don't
stop
twist it, no
Paul.
way.
Dong
Uh,
Yang.
if he was playing, I really do wonder where Suali'i would be playing, honestly. Because Billy Smith getting that left side centre role, and he did throughout the whole preseason running that centre role as well. That
Yeah.
I really wonder about that. So we wait a couple of weeks there, but good team, the Roosters, like Spencer Lenu up front. Um, Wong is incredible to get that starting spot over Nat Butcher and that's a massive thing there.
So I just saw Joey
Um,
Martin. I thought he had like a devil's, like a vampire peak, but his hair is coming down.
bro, is that
it
the
looked like
moldy Superman? That's what
a,
that looks like. Jesus, he's an attractive man.
he is a
Jeez, get him off
yeah,
my
yeah.
screen right now.
Yeah.
God damn. End the
My
stream
bad.
early.
Just his hair was looking funny.
It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
far out. That backline looks pretty good. On the other side, Walsh, Arthurs, Katoni Stagg, Cobbo, Mariner. Cobbo
Mm.
obviously taking Farnworth's spot. Do you think he'll go well this year?
When I first heard the news that he was going to take it, I was very optimistic and straight away going like, why would you take one of the best wingers of last year away from that wing? But seeing him in trials, I think just naturally he's such a good footballer, and I think the positives you could see out of it is maybe you'll see a downtick in his errors, being that a lot of his errors came from him, his kick returns from the back end and dropping like bombs and stuff like that.
Yep.
I think that he will get a lot better ball, and you'll see him in somewhat better attacking situations, one-on-ones and stuff. Um, and I'm really curious to see that combination of Cobbo and Mariner, if that's going
Yeah.
to be that side. I think that's going to be a deadly combination on that side. Both young, both incredible. I think he'll do well in that centre role.
Okay, that's cool, cool, cool. Carey and Walker, how do you think they'll go this year? You think they're going to have a big year?
I'm still up in the air where I really feel on Kiri and Walker. In the preseason trial, I thought Kiri played incredible, and I also thought Walker played really well in that too. But I don't know if they will connect, and I don't know if the Roosters were going to do well this year. I could, I don't know if one of those guys have to really figure out who's going to be the more dominant out of the two. But being the Roosters, like just looking the rest of that squad there, bro, like even if they don't play incredibly, I still think they're going to be thereabouts, especially coming off last year where we all thought they were going to be well off and they made the finals somehow. Like,
Yeah,
but I still yet to see that combination really work properly, if that makes sense.
yeah. I think there's a lot around them that needs to be sorted out. Hasn't
Yeah.
hasn't clicked. And
I
when
think
they
the
were
biggest
expected,
thing that
yep,
doesn't help them, sorry, brother, in
yep,
the halves there is neither of them have a really great long kicking game. Both of
true.
them, like, Walker has a decent long kicking game, but a lot of his kicks, like, they'll come up short. I don't know whether his technique's just not all the way through, but from everything I've seen of both these guys, they, they're very similar. They're so similar.
Yep. And on the other side, Mam and Reynolds, looking forward to them as another season.
Oh,
Mam, I think, is just going to continue to develop.
yep.
Reynolds, you think he holds similar boat to SJ? Can he? His body holds up, everything goes well. You expect that?
Yeah, I think he'll get through another season. I don't think he'll get like massively hurt. I still think he'll take a couple of games off. I think that's just becoming the norm for Reynolds these years. He always has a niggling injury or something coming into the season. I think even this game, I don't know if I saw anything about him having a niggle, but yeah, he'll still get through the season and be there when they want him to be there, and I think he will be
Yep.
good this year.
Just quickly, we'll just move through a bit quicker, but just looking Spencer Lenu as a starting prop.
Yeah.
Excited about this? Do you think can play that starting role?
It's yet to be found out, eh? I think he'll be incredible for the first 20 or 30. It's really what happens after that. And I think they got the guys there to cover him to come off onto the bench and stuff.
Yep.
But that first 20 or 30, man, I'm so excited to see him against a fresh defense, him running straight and hard like he did for
Yep.
Samoa.
Yep.
I think he can do really well in that starting front row spot. I still prefer him, obviously seeing him at the Panthers, that momentum role, but yet to be seen.
Yeah. Yep. And maybe on the Broncos side, Corey Jensen, do you think he's the straight replacement for Flegler, or is that
At the moment, yeah, I predicted him to be the starting prop next to Payne Haas. I think
okay?
that last year he was incredible filling in for players injured when needed, and that other guys they have there, obviously Muddy Tapau, if
Yep.
they really need anyone to fill in that spot. But Corey Jensen's a workhorse, man. He'll do whatever.
Yep. Cool. Brandon Smith, do you think he'll have a bigger year this year?
Yeah. I think Brendan's in for a decent season. My super coach really relies on it as well because I will be taking the risk of not having Harry Grant to start super coach, but I will be getting him later on the season. Hopefully, Brendan Smith builds that cash. He looked fit in that Moldy game. Obviously, just not a lot of good calls when his way coming out of the
Yep.
ruck and stuff like that. He got very frustrated. I think he's gonna grow from last year.
Cool. Okay. Um, I think we'll leave it at that for now. But how do you see this game going?
I'm swaying towards the Broncos.
Yep.
I just think that youthful like attacking that back line's incredible. I think Joey Manu will hold his own obviously in that. Just Billy Smith's side's the biggest one for me. I know Daniel Tupou is the older, like more experienced winger, and he usually figures out situations there. But there's that time. Sometimes I can see Billy Smith get caught on the outside, and that it's just whether Katoni's really up for this game. But everything else, like Reese after last year and watching the preseason, he hasn't missed a beat. So I'm
Yep.
going to back Reese Walsh, and the Broncos.
Cool. Yeah. I think that's probably a fair statement coming off the massive season last year.
Yeah.
Um, Going into the Rabbitohs versus Seagulls, Latrell and Tom. Great to see these guys back.
Mm.
Hopefully to full fitness. That would be a nice matchup. How do you think Tommy's going to go this year, bro? You think he's going to have a full season?
From all reports, he looks apparently healthier. He's hitting the same speed apparently of what he had in 2021. I think I've heard before as well. So everything out there saying he's fresh and ready to go, and I really kind of like percentage-wise, like how much more can he really do to his body? Hopefully, he can get for a full season. We get a full season of Toby Turbo. So I'm going to sway the way of, he'll get for a full season and look healthy too.
Latrell, you expecting him to play a full season as well?
I think Latrell will always be a player that has somewhat of a niggle in that. He's like a Ferrari. I think there's someone that like they'll just put him in the garage and that rest like a calf issue or something like that. He'll always have something like that going with him. But when he's fit and firing, I think Latrell will be incredible this year. I honestly do.
And what's your read on Luke Brooks? You think getting away from the Tigers and now at the Seagulls, do you think he'll have an uplift in his career?
I do. I think the best time we've seen Luke Brooks play his best footy is play second fiddle. I don't think he's the type of guy to really take, a lot of the playmaking role and all that sort of stuff. I think he's really good as a running six. So I think that combination of Cherry Evans and Brooks is going to be actually a really decent one. Apparently, all reports, because we didn't get to see that first little, they had a hit out with, I think it was the Rabbitohs as well.
Yeah.
Brooksy and Ben Trebojevic killed it. So I think he's in for a good season.
And Ilias and Walker, do you think that's the combo to take them to a premiership? Do you think they can get there?
So, I know there's probably not too many Rabbitohs fans in the chat or anything like that, but if you were Rabbitohs fans out there, stay sturdy with Ilias. I see a lot of good base game out of Ilias. I think his kicking game's good. I think defensively he's taking an uptick this year. I've seen it in preseason and all that. I don't think he's been really bad in defense. I think he's sturdy for such a young half. He's so young, man. I think rugby league these days, a lot of people want their young halves to be out of the gates Nathan Cleary, and he won't be that, but I think he'll be a half that in the future gets him to a premiership. This year, I don't think so.
Yeah. Good point. I think we'll leave it at that for now. I know that we could probably get gone in deeper, but off the top of your head, brother, who have you got winning that one?
I'm going to go, I don't know if Seagulls are an outsider anymore because there's injuries in the Rabbitohs back line, but I'm going to go to Manly Seagulls. I think the Seagulls, with this lineup there, just before the season, I would have said no, but I think the Seagulls might get it over the top of the Rabbitohs in their first game here.
Very nice, very nice. I can't wait to just watch them and just see these teams come out. I think it's afternoon games on Sunday, which will be great. Hopefully we get we get a good game, and the American fans get a good look at the game as well. But no, man, I think that wraps up the All You Can Eat Warriors for this week, man. Massive work. Ooh. Thank you, Ash, brother. Chewing through the overs and unders, filling us with knowledge to mull over. What else you got planned for the week, bro? You got much on?
So I will be planning to do. I want to do my my ladder prediction on Thursday. So I will be planning to maybe do a live stream to do that, so I can talk with you guys and my thoughts on who's going to sit where. So if you want to tune in on Thursday. I will schedule that possibly straight after the stream and all that. Just had to get the thumbnail working in that. Cool. Other than that, I would be maybe having plans on out of the two games on Sunday. I would be looking at maybe streaming the Broncos Roosters game. If not that, I will be doing my match day live the week after, and I'll pick a game through there. So at the moment, live stream Thursday. Come check it out if you want to check out my thoughts on the complete rugby league table. Where we're going to sit is definitely a big one. So
massive.
Really excited, man. Really excited.
Yeah, no, awesome, man. And guys, go to Ash Thomas on YouTube and Ash Thomas on TikTok.
Thank you,
as
brother.
well. That'd be cool. And get to those watch-alongs, guys. It's really cool to get and support other creators doing watch-alongs. I think it's great as you're watching the game to have someone talking about the game with you, that type of thing. So, but thank you, everyone, for coming along. We are out of here. We'll be back next Tuesday probably with that first team list for the year. So enjoy your weekend. We've got some more content coming out, hopefully, over the next couple of days. But thank you for being with us. And again, if you're still around and haven't given us a like and subscribe, please help us get there to the magic 500. And I know get to Ash's channel as well, who's not far off 1,000. Not very far off, man. So help the brother get there and get there quick.
Thank you, my bro.
But thank you guys for coming along, and we'll see you next week. Up the wires and stay safe.
Up the wires, baby.
Yeah.